We are Team UG70 presenting credit research report on Adani Ports and Special Economic Zone. We would like to thank AIWMI to give us the opportunity to participate in Credit Research Challenge 2019-20. I would like to let you go through the business description part of the company. So the company earns revenue through three streams, namely port services, logistics services, and other ancillary services. Majority of its revenue comes from port services, which contributes more than 80%, and the other two revenue streams contribute less than 20% of the total revenue. The company runs its business operations through 58 subsidiary companies, two JVs, and one associate company. Now, coming on to the business model part of the company, the key partners of Adani Ports are mainly included with government ties with big conglomerate business and industries such as coal, fertilizers, and JV with ship liners. The customers include ties with big conglomerate business and industries such as coal and fertilizers. The value proposition that the Adani gives to its customers is through its logistics services, warehousing, container services, logistic parks, and the special economic zone. Now, coming on to the business history part of the company was incorporated as Gujarat Adani Port in 1998, from wherein it signed a sub-concessional agreement for a container terminal in 2003. Company came out with its initial public offering in 2007, and the same year they signed a port service agreement with Maruti and Suzuki for handling car exports. In 2013, the company successfully handled the first liquid consignment at its Hazira port. Now, coming on to the history of the capacity, the capacity of the company has increased from 80 MMT in financial year 2009 to 395 MMT in financial year 2019. So if you see, the capacity utilization of the company has increased from 45% in financial year 2009 to 53% in financial year 2019. Now, coming on to the company overview part of the presentation, the company basically has nine ports in operation and two are under construction. And these ports are expanded over the states of Gujarat, Goa, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, and Orissa. The ports are bifurcated into four categories, namely logistic parks, terminals, multi-purpose ports, and container terminals. The company runs India's largest private port, the Mundra port, which has a staggering capacity of 249 million metric tons per annum. The company handles commodity like liquid commodity, containers, coal, and bulk cargo through all of its ports. The container, the in the revenue share, the container handling as a percentage of total revenue has increased from 29% to 41% in the last 5 years, while the coal handling revenue share has actually decreased from 47% to 32% in the last 5 years. Now, coming on to the management and corporate governance part, the company is run by management with professional experience and with three of the board of directors being from the Adani family, uh, Gautam Adani and his brother and his son Rajesh Adani and Karan Adani. Karan Adani, who is also the CEO of the company. Also, Adani being such a big conglomerate and presence in utility sector, it also helps in stabilizing the revenue of Adani Ports through its subsidiary companies. Now, coming on to the rating methodology part of the presentation, the company has been rated by several international rating agencies like Moody's, which gave it a Baa3 rating, Fitch and S&P Global, both of which gave it a triple B minus rating. Also, looking at the rating of the borrowings, it has been duly noted that Adani Ports has received the rating of medium strength in terms of credibility. Thank you. The further presentation will be taken over by my teammates.
India is truly blessed country as it has coastline of 7,517 km but has only 1.7% share in world merchandise export and only 2.2% share in world merchandise import. India spends around 14% on logistics as percentage of GDP and is ranked 35 out of 160 countries in logistics performance index. There are two types of ports, major being handled by government and non-major being handled by private and state government. The major export and import products are already mentioned in the slide, signifying the importance of steel, chemical, and other minerals. Net profit margin has been increasing as shown in the figure. The capacity of the major port has been constantly increasing from 2007, but there has been constant decrease in utilization as shown in the figure. Quick facts about Indian port industry. According to Ministry of Shipping, 95% India trade by volume and 70% by value moves through maritime transport. The market share of major ports has been constantly decreasing, while that of minor port has seen increase as seen in the figure. The average turnaround time has seen decreasing from financial year 12 as shown in chart. The development of container traffic in India. Port container traffic measures the flow of containers from land to sea, transport modes and vice versa in 20-foot equivalent units, TEUs, a standard size container. Development of container traffic is going at an expansionary phase, with market capturing mainly by non-major ports increasing by more than 5 times in last 14 years. China had 15.7% of market share in India's total containerized exports and has been consistently on top position over the last decade. Vessel classification of the port industry has been mentioned in the slide itself. Looking at the recent government initiatives, government has started the project Sagar Mala Pariyojana, which has been an eye-catcher for private players as well. Other major initiatives are Jawaharlal Nehru Port Trust, which plans to develop more, and Jal Marg Vikas project has been executed already. With the rapid expansion of port industry, there seems to be opening of new market for ship repairing, which has market size of more than 3,000 crores. As shown in the image, Adani Port is the market leader of the industry with market share of 75,000 plus crores. Concluding to this, other topic will be explained by my teammate.
Now diving deeper into the company, it has been duly noted that the capacity utilization of the industry has almost been around 60%, while the EBITDA margins of the company has been stayed around 60 to 70%. The total cargo volume handled by the company has constantly been increased at a rate of 13% from FY14. Company has used many technological platforms to increase its operational efficiency. It has used automated workflow, database decision making, data analytics to increase its timing for estimation of ship tracking, departmental monitoring, weather data, shipping schedule, navigation of ship, etc. Looking on the recent transactions of the company has recently acquired Kattupalli Ports, Adani Agri Logistics, Snowman Logistics, and Krishnapatnam Ports. Company is now expanding its business into other segments such as air cargo, cold storage, and other platforms. Company has entered into the cold storage by acquiring Snowman, which has a market share of more than 30%. Now diving deeper into the capital expansion, it has been duly noted that the capital expenditure of the company has constantly been increasing. The average capital work in progress of the company from 2010 has been around 1,000 crores, which is almost been 1 to 2% top line of the company. Now, going on to the capacity expansion of the existing ports, it has been duly noted that there is almost company is almost estimating around 176 million metric ton per annum in increase in its existing port capacity till 2025. Now, focusing on the investment of infrastructure part, it has been duly noted that company is planning to increase its investment in infrastructure such as logistic parks, rakes, containers till 2025 at 5x growth. Now, focusing on the financials of the company, it has been duly noted that the revenue of the company has been increasing at a rate of 27%, while the EBITDA and the PAT margins by more than 30%. Operating expense is the major expenditure of the company. Why? The total expenditure being low, that's why the profit margin and the EBIT margins of the company are high. Going on to the financial metrics, the PAT margins and the EBIT margins of the country are constantly increasing. However, the receivable days, as seen in the chart, from 2012 has constantly been increasing, reaching to almost 120 days. That is half a year for converting its customer into cash-based customer. Now, diving into the loan profile, it has been duly noted that more than 5 years of the loan constitute more than 50 to 50% in its long-term debt. While 3 to 5 years contribute 22% and 1 to 3 years contribute 25% of the total long-term debt. Major debt has been taken from domestic country only. Average maturity of loan has stayed at around 6 years as of March 31st, 2019. Now, going on in the liquidity ratio, the trend of liquidity ratio is showing at a decreasing rate from year 2007. Current ratio and quick ratio has moved in tangent, while cash ratio has decreased more than the above ratios. This is all because of the impact in receivable days, which we have seen in the previous slide. Moving on with the solvency ratio, the interest coverage ratio of the company has been increased from 3.4% to 4.6% in FY 2019, while the debt ratios and debt to asset ratios has constantly been decreasing. This shows a little effect in the finance cost of the company. Interest cost of the company has increased from 3.3% to 5.2%. This has been a major rise in the cost. The 5.2% seems to be low because it is inclusive of the foreign bond, which does not account for the inflation in the interest cost. Going on with the finance cost by CFO, it has been duly noted that the finance cost has been a major cost in the CFO, stating to be around 24% in 2019, which was only 15% in 2007. This concludes to us that the creditability of the company, though has not been worsened much, but the interest cost is being now a big burden for the company. Going on to the DuPont analysis, the ROE of the company has constantly been decreasing. The prime reason for the decrease is the decrease in margins of the company, in the rise in the interest cost of the company, and rise in the borrowing of the company. So the situation is not worsened, but the declining ratio can significantly affect the interest cost of the company. Moving on finally with the Altman analysis. It has been duly noted that in March 2008, the Altman Z score was almost around 5, which was like the best scenario. But after that, the Altman Z score has shown a declining effect, now coming to 2.65, indicating to a bankruptcy kind of situation. However, we conclude that Adani being such a big conglomerate, Adani Port will not be hampered in the creditability manner, but there can be a significant impact in the upcoming interest cost of the company, resulting to decline in the PAT margins and the EBIT margins, which we expect in the near future. Thus, we conclude our analysis on Adani Ports. Thank you.